My friend needed to publicly speak in front of unknown people, harshly judging each word, and it terrified my friend so much that was ready to sell the firstborn child just to avoid possible failure and humiliation. Can you relate? Luckily, the outcome was positively exciting by using the following mindset. So buckle up, kiddo, and hold to your cheeks, because this video will awaken something within you. On the one titter, having low confidence majorly sucks. People are stepping on you, and not in a sexy way. You dread public speaking more than death, and cannot confess to your crush, missing out on some passionate nights. But you know what? On the other titter, you are doing better than you think. Take some pride in that at least you are humble enough to consider other people's advice in order to grow, and you have a spider sense protecting you from life-threatening dangers. That is why being overconfident sucks even more. So stop idolizing confidence. You might associate being super confident, having that big D energy, with being successful, getting what you want, because Western culture glorifies what the brave have achieved and sells a dream that you can do the same, that you too can pay millions in child support, only conveniently forgetting to mention a huge asterisk, that you can get it all if you can survive ridiculously low odds. What do you think? What percentage of YouTube channels that create content have at least 10,000 subs? According to July 29th, 2022 data, it is 1.8%, meaning that on each such YouTuber is more than 90 YouTubers who tried their best and failed, their dreams being crushed. By the way, to get 1 million subs is a 0.03% chance. Basically, it is blue lock, but with 10 times more rivals and viewers like you each day deciding who will succeed and who will be pushed to the abyss of broken dreams by liking and sharing videos. So welcome to a dark and twisted wonderland of survivorship bias, where few winners have all the spotlight, and a mountain of dead bodies is swept under the red carpet. The real problem with overconfident people is that they are more likely to take such risky odds with their lives, be it drunk driving or trying out dangerous substances or making sweet love with a monkey, not to mention being more likely to gamble all their money, be it casinos, very risky investments, or a Nigerian prince, because their overconfidence usually stems from ignorance of how risky things are, or absolutely believing that they are an exception. Also, they are so stubborn, like Hulk trying to walk through a wall, even if there is a door nearby, not ready to adapt to use a better approach, no matter how much sense it makes, which is another source of their downfall. Walter White, David Martinez, and even Elon Musk are great examples of that. Even if you gain something by being overconfident, you will also lose so much because of it. The story of all these fictional characters does not end pretty. That is why stop fetishizing confidence as a golden solution and better embrace the gifts you already have. That at least you have a spider sense who encourages you to avoid the danger. At least you are humble enough to listen to warnings of other people instead of automatically rejecting them. Still, you are missing out on perfectly safe opportunities that would improve your life. So let's do something about it. By mastering the spider sense, your mind creates false alarms by over-exaggerating risks and consequences, such as if you compliment people, they will fall madly in love with you, cannot keep their hands off from a snack like you, and you will die from all that lovemaking. During much more simple times, the over-exaggeration of risks made so much sense. For example, if you are unarmed, and there is a 20% chance that shaking bushes could be a dangerous predator like a bear, and 80% that it could be a bunny or people having a fun time. Running away from the bushes has much more upsides than downsides, because if you are wrong in that situation, then you just unnecessarily overexert yourself running away from a bunny. But if you are right, then it can save your life from a bear. But nowadays the vast majority of threats are not physical, but mental, making this type of failures much less dangerous. Feeling cringe or humiliation is unpleasant, but it has nothing on being bitten by a predator. Nevertheless, your brains over-exaggerate things to even a comically absurd degree, like your life literally depends on it. And filmmakers of horror movies use it by avoiding showing the monster. That is why in Jaws they show only the shark's fin and reveal the whole shark only at the end. Human imagination is really powerful stuff, and Rule 34 just confirms it, because where there is a will, there is a way to sexualize it. So to massively reduce false alarms about mental threats, try these tips. Firstly, embrace that the human mind is bad at predicting things, especially when you need to calculate so many moving parts. If you have played multiplayer games, then you know how difficult it is to predict opponents' moves. So divide the intensity of your most pessimistic scenario by 10 or even 100 times. If you think that everybody will laugh about your failure, change to, at worst a few people will laugh and the rest will not care. The most likely scenario is that other people similar to you will be occupied with their own problems and will barely pay attention to you. For instance, just look at me. I have many super cringy videos on this channel, but who has time to go their way out to see 2-year-old videos? Secondly, choose to get hurt by reality, not your own imagination. Often a false alarm about a mental threat does much more damage than the consequences of the threat. Even if the worst comes, usually you will feel the mentioned unpleasant feelings like cringe or humiliation, but the peak of it will be only a few minutes. Because the human mind, just like Thanos, loves balance, so the more intense an emotion is, the shorter its peak.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
After that, the emotion will gradually fade away, and usually after a day or two you have more or less moved on, unless you sustain the unpleasant feeling with negative self-talk, which can be massively reduced by training self-compassion, even unconditional self-love. If you need help with it, then check this out later. Moreover, this usually is the worst-case scenario. Much more often the consequences are so lesser than you imagined that you might feel underwhelmed, such as instead of everybody laughing about your failure, nobody even cared. In contrast, the false alarm makes you constantly conjure over-exaggerated horrors, stressing out about how things will play out days, if not weeks before. The thing is, stress is designed to protect you from physical danger by reducing as much as possible unnecessary functions at that moment, like the immune system, and giving that energy to more useful functions like the ability run for your life! So when you see a bear approaching, you get stressed and with it extra energized to run away, increasing your chances to survive. And it all takes a maximum of a few minutes, and afterward your body returns to a normal state. The problem starts when you are constantly stressed. Remember that unnecessary immune system. When a bear was chasing you, it is pretty useful to protect from nasty viruses and bacteria. Also, the strain on your body, constantly ready for the fastest sprint you have ever run, at some point starts to wear you down, especially your heart. Now can you see why being hurt by reality, not your own imagination, is a much better approach regarding mental risks? Why stressing out about mental threats usually is misusing the tool meant for run for your life, and will be more trouble than worth? Thirdly, calm down by reminding yourself that feeling cringe, humiliated, and so on is not the same as being attacked by a bear. That you are in safety, because our mental state reflects our physical state. The vice versa is also true. So to signal to your body that all is safe, change fast, shallow and irregular breathing from all that distress to slow, deep and smooth breathing. You can use the box method by inhaling, counting to 4, then holding breath counting to 4, exhaling counting to 4, holding counting to 4, and then restarting the cycle. Yes, Demon Slayer and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure were right. You can kill inner demons by breathing correctly, and if you wish
to go even further beyond,
then, fourthly, reframe your goals. Remember how I previously mentioned a friend who was so scared to publicly speak in front of unknown people, harshly judging each word, that was ready to sell the firstborn child, just to avoid possible failure and humiliation. In that case, super effective was a suggestion to change goals, from concentrating on the result and other people, to much more thinking about the process and concentrating on oneself, from being perfect and leaving a super great impression, to embracing it as a learning opportunity to grow, that it will be a major victory, because my friend will overcome past self. And after publicly speaking, my friend felt full of excitement about what happened, because could embrace the thrill of overcoming fears, became super motivated to improve things, based on insights from the experience. Even laughed at foolish predictions about what will happen. That is how a viciously dangerous bear was turned into a soft teddy bear. Remember that having a better mindset is like a muscle. The more often you use it, the stronger it gets. In the beginning, it can take effort and time to use the techniques as active abilities, but over time you will level up and they will become passive abilities. That is why arm yourself with patience and self-compassion. Moreover, if you wish to strengthen the mentioned good habits, then check out this video, or learn self-compassion, even unconditional self-love, saving you years, if not decades of hard work. Then check this out.